want to get really serious with you guys for a second. Well, for the whole episode, actually. I want to speak on some topics that have really contributed to, oh my God, just changing so much of my world recently. So, whether you've been following attentively or a little bit in the distance of my whole journey and growth, I mean, honestly, since I've moved to the Gold Coast, more so since the start of the year. So, first of all, how has everybody's start of the year been? I feel like at the same time it's gone so fast, and also it feels like it's been a whole year and we're only in mid-March as I'm actually recording this. So I've had a lot of huge shifts in my identity. And it's interesting because if I was to hear these kind of concepts and topics and even the word identity and capacity and visibility 12 months ago, it would go zoof straight over my head. So I've definitely delved into a whole world of growth and development I personally did not even know was coming for me. And the reason why I feel like this episode is going to be getting more serious with you guys, it's more so I want to open up about a lot of shifts and changes in my world recently.
Welcome to Start Somewhere, the bingeable podcast for the ambitious, self-development obsessed who know they are meant for more. More money, more freedom, more fun. Each week, I expose the sexy truths about manifestation, feminine mindset, and rituals to keep your body and lifestyle thriving. I'll show you how to move through change like it's your runway moment. Welcome to our grounded space to becoming self-obsessed and seducing your own life, where we start with the first step, not the entire staircase. Let's start somewhere together.
It would be no surprise that I courageously go after anything and everything that I want. And I've always been this way, and it's definitely tested me at times. It's given me the most humongous sense of resilience and being so okay with rejection because I know so deeply it's never personal. And the way I got to this place, the way I could speak about this so calmly and from so much experience is making sense truly of my emotions, making sense of how and why certain things can perhaps trigger. And I have trigger in air quotes here because I learned this concept a while ago. If someone or something triggers you, it's rarely about them or the thing that happened. It's actually about the ammunition that's inside of you. There is something inside of you that someone has done or said that has triggered you. And so when we can actually make it about self, like that is taking radical responsibility that I feel a lot of people aren't really comfortable with taking. And that's the thing, that's the shift, and that's also the difference between somebody who can go through these like incredible transformations and shift and change so much of their world, so much of their reality, versus somebody who sits back and watches, somebody who is at effect, which essentially means somebody who is sitting at a place of being the victim, right? It's like that whole victim mentality. They're sitting there being like, well, this happened to them because of XYZ is not happening to me because of this reason. They're feeding themselves these constant excuses. And it does take a whole lot of courage to look at yourself and be like, I actually do have these flaws and I want to change this about myself. And so I learned recently that emotions truly get to be a choice. Of course, we feel things, our hearts get full, we get sad, we cry, we get angry, we feel fear, shame, anxiety. It's also all just a choice. And the more I got to really make sense of this, the more I got to have fun with these emotions and use them to my advantage. How can you use some kind of like anger or hurt from the past, maybe from a really shitty ex-boyfriend or shitty friend or just something shitty? How can you allow that to fuel you to then catapult you to the life you want? Or how can you use these really beautiful emotions of love, feeling loved by somebody? You have a new boyfriend, you have a really beautiful group of friends. How can you use that love towards yet again catapulting yourself to your world, to the life that you want? So this morning I was sitting at my kitchen table doing some work for my laptop, and Grace, my housemate, came downstairs and shared with me she's feeling so full of love and she's feeling so much happiness. And I'm like, this is exactly what we want in our world. I've been feeling and being in this state for the longest of longest times. And it's because I've just learned so much more about myself and my emotions and how I can ride through the lows and ride so high on the highs. And it's not always about questioning and getting confused and labeling why we may be feeling these like negative emotions. It's allowing them to flow through us, yet not take over. Allow yourself to feel sad, allow yourself to cry, and then turn it off. Okay. And this isn't about being cutthroat and harsh with yourself, it's about taking radical responsibility for yourself and for your life. And I've been speaking a lot on harnessing and working with your future self. And this has been such a fun concept and fun journey for me because there is always more out there that perhaps the version of you right now listening doesn't even know yet. And so I did this really beautiful future self meditation a few weeks ago as I'm recording this. And it was really interesting. And it blew my mind what came up in this vision. And if you are interested in this, I took one of my private clients through this personally in one of our one-to-one sessions. So this is so much of the work I also do with my clients. We really get to tap in and play with your future self and higher self, same thing essentially, and how we can start to call in more messages and get so much clarity on what exactly your next steps are that perhaps we don't always see in your current world. And so I want to share my experience when I did this future self meditation. It was 10 years from today. So I was 39 years old and I was in Hamilton Island, which really surprised me because I've been there once. It's beautiful. And at the same time, I never really crosses my mind. I was in Hamilton Island at this beautiful home. It was my summer house. The interior was this gorgeous contemporary meets beach style. Think like Hamptons, New York style. Like that's what I was seeing. And I was dressed head to toe in this like beautiful white flowy outfit. Oh my gosh, literally what I'm wearing today. Wow, did not plan that. Love that. And my husband was there. He had beautiful tan skin. He was in the background. That's all I could see. And there was my laptop on my desk and my Slack was dinging from my team, helping me build this incredible multi-million dollar business. I walked out of my double French doors and I had the most impeccable view of the island. And there was greenery everywhere, covered with trees, and the water, the blue. Oh my gosh, it was like a painting. And when I was doing this future self meditation, the version of me here went to go meet her. And I sat down with my future self and I asked her questions like, what do I need to stop doing to call in the life I want? What can I start to work on and create right now to call in the life I want? And the messages and the ideas that came through were things that I hadn't actually comprehended yet. And that's the power of this work because we're receiving messages and downloads that we perhaps haven't actually made sense of yet. And when we can start to play with this, it's infinity as to what is actually possible for us. And last week's episode was just such a beautiful reminder for myself to record and also I hope and I know for you guys to listen to, having that audacity to dream bigger, to think so much bigger. Because the thing is, in order to break free from your past, there has to be some kind of death in terms of with self. And this doesn't have to be or mean something dark or dreary to go through. It gets to be something really beautiful that we can alchemize. And I feel like this has been such a different style of episode to record and I'm loving it. And someone said it's making fun with the light and the dark in your life, like the yin and the yang. Think of it like that. So the thing is, when we have experienced such beautiful highs, such beautiful moments of joy in our life, think about this for a moment. The only reason we can actually hold and receive that love and joy is because we also know what it's like to have and hold the opposite of that. So everything is a polarity in this world. And when we can just approach life, like I almost want to say is a game, although that's just such like a, I don't know, I don't like using that term. Essentially, look at it like that through your own lens. Like, make that mean what you want it to mean. When you can look at life as you are the main character and you are quite literally scripting every single day what happens. You are calling in conversations, connections, experiences, opportunities with people all the time, purely based from what your mind is telling you. It's your subconscious reprogramming that calls in so much of your reality. And that's why I'm so like with the vision, with my goal, I'm calling it my Mercedes convertible. It's already done. It's already happened. Like, I already know the song I'm playing when I drive out of the dealership. I know the outfit I'm wearing, how my hair looks, how my makeup looks. I already know the restaurant I'm going to with all my friends to celebrate after I get my Mercedes. It's all locked into play. And when we can start to approach life this way and be like, think of it as it gets to be a smorgasbord of whatever you want to call into this world. And the way we can actually look at this now through a business or brand lens, if you're a business or brand owner or you're aspiring to be, is who is that version of you that has the brand and business that you know you truly deserve, that you know you want so goddamn badly, it's sitting in your heart for a reason. Who is she being? How is she showing up? Because granted, there are going to be quite a few similarities to that future version self versus who you are right now as you're listening to this episode. Because otherwise, you already have that brand and that business that you truly desire. And so, I have a really powerful question I want to ask you that's going to help you tap into this even further. So, what have you been avoiding that your future self would handle this week? And this gets to be a really simple task. Write a list of all like the little life admin, the small things you have to do. Go to the post office, pick this up from the grocery store, return this parcel, insert whatever it is for you. Write a list of all these little things that we are actually avoiding, because this is actually taking up so much energetic weight in our world and also a lot of capacity in our mind. And when we can start to clear that out, we're able to call in so much more of what we want. Okay, sounds super simple. Over the weekend, I've done the biggest cull of my wardrobe and I've removed bags and bags and bags of clothes, of makeup, of jewelry, of shoes that just no longer align with who I am at the moment. Sure, it definitely aligned with me once upon a time. And I just realized, guys, I brought so much with me from Adelaide up to the Gold Coast. So many pieces of clothing and outfits and jewelry and accessories and books that I have not touched, worn, or read since moving here. And that is holding so much like weight, yes, physically and also energetically. It's holding so much attachment to my old identity that I don't even resonate with anymore. So if I had the version of me from 12 months ago sitting in this podcast studio with me, I don't even think she could comprehend for the way I have evolved and my life has evolved. And if you can't experience that for yourself with the version of you 12 months ago, you're hanging out too much in your comfort zone. And so, what we actually get to do is take you out of that comfort zone and just step so much more into the stretch zone. And this is where you're moving in a way, you're showing up in a way that is going to feel really stretchy. Maybe it's to do with how much you're investing your money, your time, what you're doing instead, what you're saying no to, what you're saying yes to. Essentially, it's these habits and routines and way we're moving in life that is going to make us feel a bit like, oh my gosh, is this the right thing that I'm doing? That's how you actually know you're onto doing the right thing for you. And so I want you to ask yourself, what are these habits, routines, things you get to do in your world that you actually know it's time to break free from? It's actually all about having the courage to say farewell to that old version of you, to say goodbye to that past version of you, so you can welcome in the next version of self, knowing that it will feel a little bit like you're in this waiting room for some period of time. and you're like, is this the right thing to do? And the thing is, it's going to feel unfamiliar. Therefore, it will feel wobbly inside of you. And that's actually how you know you're on the right path. Like, I've been experiencing this so much recently. And it's because I knew that my old ways of behaving and showing up in this world no longer aligned with who I've evolved into. And the new ways of how I wanted my life to be, it's like I was in this metaphorical waiting room. And I was sitting there and waiting and waiting and waiting for my name to be called. And going back in the past just wasn't even an option for me because it just completely misaligned with who I was and how I showed up in this world. However, stepping into that new version of self felt insanely panic zone, like felt insanely stretchy. And I had to cultivate that resilience and that courage to continue to put one foot in front of the other and trust that I had myself. And if this feels like a place that you are in at the moment, come into my world. Let's have a chat about working together, because this is exactly what I help my clients with who are also navigating spaces just like this. And the thing is, when we are working on building your brand that's creating more sales and revenue in your business, there is going to be this kind of like, identity shift here between old self versus new self. And oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for the support and tools and resources I've had around me that have allowed me to courageously step towards that. That being said, it has been insanely stretchy at times. And that's the thing. I've experienced such a shift in my business and well in terms of the types of clients I'm working with. And I realize as myself and my business evolved and up leveled so much, so did the caliber of client that I now get to work with. And there was a moment where I realized that how much of my expertise and knowledge and what value I provided, it wasn't actually aligning with a lot of the clients I was currently working with. And that was a really interesting shift for me. And I just continued to lean in. I continued to go all in and to not doubt my own expertise and my own experience. And as a result of that, I had so much trust in the unknown, knowing that I am sure clearing out certain old ways in business to call in the most abundant, beautiful new ways. And I'm at a point now where I'm seeing so much of the fruits from my labor from that moment in time come back into my world. And the caliber of clients I'm working with now, this is how I explain it. It's somebody that has batteries in them already. They are energized. They are ready to go. They are ready to hit the ground running, whether they have a business and they're established or they are itching to create something and to start their own brand. And it's been so phenomenal to see these different caliber of men and women enter my world and the work I get to do, the range of different businesses I get to have my hands on and to help build their brand brings me so much goddamn joy. And this is from a range of different service providers, from products, from e-commerce, from activewear, from marketing agencies, creators, you name it. The range of businesses I get to coach, mentor, and work with, because the thing with marketing strategies is, yes, they can work for every industry. And also, it's been so fun to see how we can adapt different strategies to best suit each business's objections and everything that they actually want to create in their business as well. So the type of success that they want to call in. And it's been so cool. It's like I'm back working at a marketing agency where I get to work on a range of different businesses and brands and to see which strategies we can employ essentially to create the success that each individual business and brand owner wants. And that's the thing. That's why a lot of my work as well is in that private one-to-one capacity, because it's not just a copy and paste process. It's so much of actually getting clear on you, the business owner, the brand owner, like what you really resonate with, what really lights you up, and then how we can start to employ those strategies that best suit your brand. So if that sounds like something you would love to learn so much more on, I invite you to book a call with myself and we can purely have a chat to see if this is actually an aligned space for you. You can share so much more about yourself, your vision, your dreams, your objections with your brand and your business. And we can have a conversation to see if having myself in your corner is actually the right move for you. And we can have a chat to see if my help is going to also help you grow your brand and your business. And guys, you will never know unless you ask. And so the link for that is always in the show notes of this podcast episode. And you can also find everything else on my socials. Started like super serious and then we just ended like so chirpy. That honestly just sums me up as a person. I love to just bring back the energy if and whenever I can. So I appreciate you listening to another episode of Start Somewhere, the podcast. I can't believe I think we're at, like, from memory, I'll know this when we go live, I think we're almost at 170 episodes. The consistency, it's off the chart. I love you for tuning in, and I'll see you in our next episode. Mwah. Bye, guys.